In today's episode, Katy asks, I recently started at a startup and I'm responsible for all marketing. I've been doing digital marketing for a long time, but one of my weaknesses is PR. I would appreciate any advice on how to approach B2B public relations. Okay, so I spent 5+ years at a PR firm and picked up a lot of interesting experiences during that time. PR is a sales job. It is actually the worst sales job in the world because you are following all the processes of sales, the pitching, the outreach, the relationship building, but none of the rewards because there's no commissions, right? Instead of selling a product to someone, you are selling a story to an influencer or a publication of some kind. So when you pivot your thinking to realizing it is a sales job, then you treat it like a sales job, right? You build relationships. You focus on that relationships between you and other people in your industry's vertical. And you give more than you take. So let's look at like 10 tips on this stuff, right? Number 1, get organized with a sales CRM. Use Hubspot's free CRM. Use any of the free CRMs that are out there. Remember, PR is a sales job, so you need to treat it like sales. Every time you pitch a reporter, that's a deal, right? You're trying to close the pitch, and get them to publish your story, your company's story. So in your CRM, treat it like a deal, right? Your contacts are your relationships with publications and influencers, and track that stuff so that you don't lose track of things and that you know what closes and what doesn't and who closes and who doesn't. Don't rely on anecdotes and memory. Treat it like sales. Use software to make your processes better. 2, get organized with your company. What do you have that is legitimately newsworthy that other people will care about? Remember, publications of any kind, whether it's an individual, a blogger, a newspaper, a magazine, whatever, they want stories that attract eyeballs because they have to pay their bills, and they pay their bills with traffic that gets them to sell ads, right? So what do you have that will help that company sell ads to its customers, right? What do you have that is so newsworthy that they will get traffic to their website? No one gives a crap about your press release, your newest product announcement, your executive hire, all the BS that PR people typically do, poor ones do. People want traffic. They want traffic to sell ads. So what do you have that is newsworthy enough that will get you that traffic at another publication? Number 3, set realistic expectations. PR is not like advertising. In advertising, you swipe the credit card and your ads are running. PR takes a long time. The best PR professionals are those that have a lot of gray hair because they have, decade-long relationships with specific outlets, with specific individuals. They can pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got this thing. I know it's worth your time. Let's talk. At the very least, you also have to know the difference between short and long lead pitches. Long lead pitches are things like magazines where they're planning out 1 or 2 quarters in advance, and you can work to get your story in that issue 6 months from now. Short leads are things like digital publications where they are looking for stories sooner than that, and you have to set expectations with your company that, depending on what your focus is, it may take months to see any results from public relations. Next, do your homework. As part of relationship building, be sure you know who the top 10 people are in your industry's vertical and what their angles are. They have a specific point of view or a specific subject matter expertise that they want to focus on. And if you send them a generic pitch, you're going to get tossed in the trash, right? You have to send something that is on target for what they want to talk about. So read their stuff, dig in, scan their articles, watch their social feeds, learn what they care about and what gets them results. Use great social media monitoring tools like TalkWalker to identify this is what this influencer or this publication has published, and these are the performance metrics on it, and look at the top 10 things that got them traffic. Focus on that. Never send a bulk pitch, ever. Just don't do it. You should never be setting a pitch to more than one person, ever. Give before you get. Our advisor and PR professional extraordinaire, Jenny Dietrich, has what we call the 10 by 10 rule. 10 days, 10 touches. giving only. So you follow a reporter, you share their stories, you comment to them, you reply, you promote them. 10 days, one touch a day for 10 days, never asking for anything. All you want to do is make sure that you are lodged in their brain as a name they recognize, so that when you do ask for something later on, you have that share of mind. And it may take longer than 10 days. It may take 30 or 50 or 70 days for them to respond to you genuinely and say, hey, thanks for sharing my stuff. But at the very least, you need to be present of mind in your contacts before you can ask for anything. Make your company a publication of record. If your company doesn't already have a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel, social media accounts, etc., invest in those. No pitch is easier than one to your own site, right? As long as you're an industry authority, you can leverage that audience. When I ran blogs and podcasts and stuff for all the companies I worked for in the last 15 years, becoming an industry authority means then you don't have to get approval. You don't have to wait for anybody. You can publish, and as long as the news is worthy, is quality, people will pay attention, and it's so much easier than pitching third-party publications. That is a whole strategy unto itself, but it is worth doing because in the end, you have that relationship with the audience directly. You don't have to wait for an intermediary. Unless you're required to by law, such as the SEC regulation FD, do not bother with press releases. They are a waste of money because most people do them so badly, and they get one click, and it's usually you. When it comes to B2B specifically, top-tier publications matter very little. Wall Street Journal, New York Times, USA Today. It's not the place for you, and you won't get... the results are disproportionately worse than the effort you put into them. Trade publications and individual influencers matter a lot. So individual people that you can reach out to and they have their own audience. They have a podcast. They have a YouTube channel. They have a LinkedIn group that they run. They have a Slack channel. Trade publication, Industrial Concrete Magazine. If you're in the industrial concrete space, guess what? That is the place for you to be. Focus on the niches in B2B PR. Works so much better. And build your own audience, too. Build your own community. Build a Slack group. Build a LinkedIn group. Something like that where you have access to the audience directly. It's kind of part of building, your publication of record. But if you build your audience, then again, you don't have to wait for an intermediary to do it for you. You get the credibility of them doing it. Your name in like Network World Magazine. But in terms of performance that actually matters, that's it. And finally, measure what you do. Not measure how much you've done, but measure the outcomes of what you've done. Did you drive traffic? Did you get links for SEO? Did you get mentions on social media that drove traffic to the website? Did you see branded organic search increase? Measure the impact of your PR and what it did for the business. And if it's not having the impact you want, consider doing something else. So that was a lot to throw at you, but that is B2B public relations in a nutshell. Do those things and you will be more successful than less. If you have follow-up questions, leave them in the comments box below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.